Alright, well I just thought I'd update you guys on what the go is with my HPI. Update with the cage. I'm not too sure what material to use still. So, debating on either alloy or metal, like steel. Some people say steel, some say alloy. So I just got to work that out, and once I've worked it out, I think I'll go further with it. But in the meantime, I've got a different cage, just a stock Roven cage. This was the cheapest cage you could get online in Australia. It pretty much included the cage, the panels, the front bumper, the mounts, and the side guards. Put that over here. Yeah, and these guards, mounts for the sides. Can't focus. Yeah, so I thought I'd go for that for the meantime. Doesn't look too bad. So this video is also about the sort of recommendations on upgrades that I would do. I've done one of these videos, or I did one of these videos on upgrades about 2 years ago on a King motor. Everyone was bagging it, saying, "Oh, I changed pretty much the whole thing. If I would have got a HPI, I wouldn't have had to." Well, I got a HPI now, and I still did it. So it's not a matter of, some of it's not needing, it's a matter of wanting. You know, some you need to change. If it's HPI, Roven, King motor, whatever, it's a good idea to change certain parts. But being a HPI, I don't see any difference. I don't know why people say, they say the alloy's better and the plastic's better, but I don't know, we'll see. So we'll start at the front on this is what I did. So recommendation, I'll go by the recommendation, what I recommend and why, I guess. Shock brace, plastic shock brace. You don't want to go stick into the stock setup. I know the rear alloy King motor one I bent. I don't know about the HPI if they're easy to bend, but the King motor was. But I got these parts. Most of the parts that I put on here are second hand at a good deal, and that's why I did it. So so shock brace, I highly recommend going alloy, and the towels, same with the back, towels, shock brace. I've got some Paul Swingers, I think it is, limiting straps. These are fat as, like, I think that for me personally, they're the best ones on the market for these things. They'll outlast anything. It's crazy the thickness of it. Really well made, good design. So I start with the bottom bit. What I did in here. So I start with an alloy Stiffener plate. I have used a stainless steel one in the past, but this one came at a good deal, a good price, so I went for this one. Highly recommend a stiffener plate. The stiffener plate and the top plate will make the front of this truck really strong, in my opinion, because there's not much of a chassis under here, so you need as much reinforcement as you can. I've hit trees, I've hit all sorts, rolled it, and with the King motor never did I bend or break anything at the front. All I did was, I think I broke a bumper. So that's what I'd recommend at the front. I did go steel rods, alloy steering, and alloy horn on the servo, which isn't a good thing. But then I kept these arms plastic. I've got to keep it, I've got to keep a weak point. So at some stage I wouldn't mind getting the alloy front hubs. I just believe bearings and plastic just they're not a good mix. Eventually they'll wear out and go loose and all sorts. So that's it for the front, I think. These are just the what are they called, tethers for the cage. Highly recommend a kill switch. This is a Hillingtronics kill switch made in Australia. Does everything you want it to do. One of the mods I did was put the power switch up here instead of leaving it under there. It is so awkward with 5T guards to go under there. So I put it up there and it's way better. One thing I did also was upgrade the throttle brake servo. This is from AliExpress. It's 19.5 kilos, and it's a high voltage, so it should do the job pretty good. I've got a LiPo battery in there. That's why I went for the high voltage one, and that was only like $22 in China and AliExpress. Can't beat that. So far so good, but the test will be when I take it out on the track. Next thing I did, fuel lines I had were no good, so I changed them over to high flow. I bought this Incline Stack. I thought it was like straight up, but it's not. It's on an angle because the carby's on an angle. You'd think they would have designed it so it was straight, but yeah, it's still hitting down here. But oh, what do you do? I wanted it, yeah. So that's that there. I've kept the alloy bracing there, same as all the other ones, the hinge braces. Rear, I'm going to test out the theory of this HPI alloy, because normally the alloys break on the rear. They break. It's hard to tell. If you see that orange piece there, where the brakes are there, normally the alloy splits right on that little section. I don't know if I can point it. Right there. So we'll see if this one does it. I just got this pull start recently. I think it's awesome. Super easy starter. You don't really have to pull all that hard. And this got pretty good comp. I don't know, I've got the same type, not this one, but the same type on my Lossy, and I just prefer these ones. There's no pawl that goes out to engage on the flywheel. It's sort of, there's little levers. I might make a video at some stage on how they operate. This one's sealed. I don't know how it'll go with heat-wise with the motor, but the other one I've got's vented, so this will be a test. Also upgraded the isolated block down there, so that's alloy instead of the plastic one. The one I had was warped, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go try it and get this alloy one to go again, and hopefully it works out. Because yeah, if your truck starts playing up or not idling properly or not starting or whatever, it's that block. That's one of the first things you want to change, is that block. I've got the shock socks on here. They're just some cloth thing. They probably won't last long, but I thought I'd put them on there anyway. I made up some dirt guards for the boots, to save the boots, because the rear boots normally get chewed up with the dirt. So just to save the boots, put these on there. I just got a bit of plastic, cut it up, chucked it on. I've got some alloy rear Knob Carriers. I recommend these ones. What else I've got? And I've got this pipe as well. It's a Model Logic. I've been told it's the same Well, it's the same or similar to Bartolone, but the people who make these pipes made the Bartolone. Something on those lines, I was told. So I just had to cut a hole in the guard, inside guard, for it to fit. But so yeah, it was actually a lot longer, and I cut it because it was way lower than the chassis, so you don't want that. So another one I did, another upgrade. Where is it here? Is an enclosed clutch bell carrier. For a long time I had an open one because I thought it'd be better for cooling the clutch, get less clutch fade in that. But because I go in dirt and sandy conditions, it was just getting chewed up. It was getting chewed up real quick. I'd take this out, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times and the clutch was gone. And then I thought, you know what, I'll give this enclosed setup a go, and as soon as I went enclosed, it just lasts longer, way longer. You might get a little bit of clutch fade, but yeah. But that's one of the recommendations. I go an enclosed one. A little mod I did was swapping these pins over. Come on, phone. I just put them back to front. So you just open up the hole, push it through, and then let's go this way. There you go. And then so instead of mucking around the back, it's at the front now. And I just cut the ends of the pins so they'd fit. A little mod I did as well was a spring on the brakes there to try and keep the pads apart so they don't rub against the discs. These brakes are they're like new, so it's not really doing its job. But once there's a little bit of wear, they'll keep it apart a bit more. And that's about it. I've got Savox steering servo down there. That's it. Yeah, it all seems pretty good. I haven't really, yeah, I've gone up and down the street with this thing, and this pipe is so loud. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. It's a 29, it's just a stock 29cc. But, so yeah, so that's what I'd go for. For upgrades, if you just get your truck and you want to upgrade something straight up that I know that'll need to be done, I'd go for the rear brace, and I'll probably go the enclosed clutch bell carrier. I'd go the kill switch. You have to go kill switch no matter what. That's number one on the list for the kill switch. I've got a and the outerwears as well. Oil the filter, outerwear on the top. Can't go wrong. Yeah. So I've got this this cage, and I've had a Team Chase cage in the past, which I liked. I liked the look of the Team Chase. But this one's a better setup to put on your truck. Well, if you look at that, it just slides on the top, because the Team Chase have got a rail. They've got a top rail here, and then you put your cage through it, and then you push the plastic pin through, and then you put a body clip on the back. Well, here, hang on, what am I stuck on? There we go. Here, you just slide it on top, bang like that. I'll try and do it with one hand. Looking. And then you just put, shit. Damn it. It's gone dark. Now, do the other side. So on this one you just put it through, I'm looking at the camera. Oh, missed it. So yeah, so you just put the body pin in there, push it in, done. Way better. Way better system. I did open up the holes a little bit so it'd be easier. Done. And then it's just normal. No, I didn't put it back here properly. Body pins down there. Body pin in there. So you got 2, 4, 6, 8 pins put in it, and it's done. But no, I like the look of it. It looks alright. I was thinking maybe putting some mesh or some more panels on the side, but no, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so that is the truck. I had to quickly do this video before I used it. I'm going to use this on Saturday, because once I use it, that's it. It will no longer look like this ever. I'll probably roll it, wreck it, I don't know, we'll see. So there we go. In the future, yeah, like I said, I probably want to get some front ones, front alloy hub carriers, and also this linkage. I'm not a fan of these stock linkages. For one, they hit the tank, and for two, this bit here, which is spring loaded, so in the past I've had these actually fill up with dirt, and then they don't respond so good. So what you end up doing is you can just drill out the hole a bit bigger so the dirt can get out of there. But the ultimate upgrade would be to change this to a I think it's called a Yammer Dude, something like that, some Yammer linkage, and instead of having 2 on 1, it's 2 rods, one for the brake, one for the throttle, and it just seems, to me, just seems more reliable. But yeah, but we'll see how this goes anyway. This was only meant to be my backup, but I've gone a little nuts with it. So yeah, so we'll see how we go. Alright, well that's about it. That's the update. Hope you enjoyed, and next video will be of this running and jumping. We'll see how it goes. Till next time, see ya.